Trapper, what is your beef? Let's do this. Starting with the social. This guy or this gal is going to set the tone. Hey, Van Smack, I have beef with treasure hunt guy. Hundreds of people here at the beach for a good time, and this kook is on the quest for the lost booty of Blackbeard. You look like a tool with your pooper scooper in one arm and metal detector in the other. The only treasure here ain't buried. It's those 2 dimes in front of me, and you're blocking the view now, clown. Thanks, Mark in parts unknown. Yeah, that treasure hunting pooper scooper with the metal detector at the beach is weird, man. Weird. Jimothy, my beef is with envelopes. Every time I lick the nasty glue on the back, it never works. And I sit there wondering why I even bother buying a card in the first place. Literally, the only feature it has is to stick itself or to itself after I slobber all over it, and I can't even do that. Figure it the hell out, envelopes. Tell my wife she can expect a happy anniversary email from me next year. I am 100% over envelopes. Eric in Colorado Springs. Rome, my beef is with people who refer to their significant other as, quote, my partner. Just say girlfriend, boyfriend, companion, whatever. My partner makes it sound like the two of you bill by the hour or have to call for backup. This is nonsense. Tom in Virginia. I'm going to tell you already, I disagree with this. Next. I can see it ahead of time. I do not agree with this beef. My beef, Jimmers, is with crunchy peanut butter. It's just unfinished, creamy peanut butter. It destroys the bread when I try to spread it, and the peanut chunks squeak on my teeth when I chew them. Hashtag F them nuts.
F them pics.
Axel and Boise, do not agree. Not only am I a chunk guy, I'm an extra chunky guy. I don't like creamy peanut butter. I mean, I don't dislike it. It's not ass. And I'd rather have it than not have peanut butter. But to me, that's just non-negotiable. Not only am I chunky, I am extra chunky. We agree to disagree. That's a reason to go, too, by the way, for some people. Rome, if that is your opinion, you're wrong. Rome, my beef is with people who say, do you have time for a quick question? Hey, buddy, the question you just asked about the limits to the duration of your now follow-up question has made any question no longer a quick question. Just ask the freaking question. Mark in El Paso. Rome, what's up with the dental hygienist? Asking me questions immediately after inserting the little mirror and stabber into my mouth. You could have asked me before you jammed those shiny little tools all up in my grill. Nick in the 916. I don't know. My dental hygienist is my favorite. It's Wanda. Wanda's a family friend. I don't have that issue with her. I'll tell you what I do have an issue with. I have an issue with people who are giving you an injection, a shot, and they're asking you questions, and then they jam it in you. Like you're not expecting it, so they kind of trick you with it. And I'm like, hey, that's not cool. That was dirty pool. Yeah, but you didn't know it was coming, so you didn't braze up. So it's how you doing? How's your day? Zap. Hey, hi. How are you? Nice to meet you. Poke. Let's see here. My beef is with the ungrateful, degenerate clones. Last week, I called Flight Deck a one-trick pony. Not to disrespect him, but to motivate the big head. He then proceeded to go 7-1 on his picks. You're welcome, you ignorant bastards. Dear Jim, my beef is with my husband because he is never tender, caring, or gentle during our wrestling matches. Sincerely, Pound Town wife. Blake in Denver. My beef, Rome. Listen to this guy. My beef is with my wife. We get away for a well-needed adult getaway. I am getting prepped for a long overdue, no-holds-barred wrestling match. She comes out of the bathroom wearing the same full-length, mothball-smelling, leopard skin moo-moo nightgown that she wears at home. We look like the Ropers getting ready to make whoopee. Way to spice it up. My guy, Jim in Temecula. If I had a pay-per-view, I'd give it to you. Sounds like the two of you getting it on is a pay-per-view. What up, P and the B? My beef is with my smartwatch and its annoying reminder, time to stand, during the most inopportune times. Example, driving my car, flying on a plane, taking an afternoon napper, on the can, dropping a deuce, and worst of all, while taking my wife to Pound Town. Brad and G-Rap. Dear Jake and Logan's dad, my beef is with my 17 and 20-year-old sons. The beef is that they call me out for being overly positive and too loud every time they do anything good on the athletic field. Sorry for the years of unconditional love and support. If I want to go all Ric Flair from the crowd when you have a highlight on the field, deal with it, you chowed turds. That a boy Bernie in Beantown. I'll give you a reaction beef. My reaction beef to that beef is Dr. Jano leaning over and saying to me when University High School Logs is getting raked and things are not going well on the mound for him. Say something. Say something. He needs to hear something. Say something. I'm like, Jano, trust me. Now is not the time to say something. It's going to piss him off. He knows he's getting yacked. He knows somebody's hit one 400 feet off him. He knows that either A, he has an adjustment he has to make, or B, he can tip his hat to somebody who just hit a good pitch. It's going to make it worse if I, quote, tell him something. Dr. Jano telling me to counsel Logs when he's getting lit up. Dear Van Smack, my beef is with parents who record their toddler getting his head stuck in the staircase rails and then giddily show it to everybody before sending it to America's Funniest Home Videos. Hey, losers, ask your traumatized child if he thinks that's funny. I hope that when he grows up, he blows off curfews, asks mean and nasty things about you, and bans you from his wedding. Mike in KC. Romy, my beef is with you. Yesterday, not letting me tell you about my trip to New Mexico. I went to the Trinity site and the Owl Cafe that Robert Oppenheimer and the rest of the Manhattan Project scientists frequently visited. Eric in Orlando. All right, Eric, couple of things here. Respectfully. And if I'm saying respectfully, you're about to get dissed. First of all, Eric, nobody gives a damn about what you did in New Mexico. Second of all, I didn't stop you from doing anything. You used your time to ask me if I had anything to tell you about my trip to El Paso. I didn't know you were looking to set me up to ask you about something that nobody else gives a damn about. My beef is that idiotic beef. Come on, bro. What? Your beef is that I didn't ask you about your trip to New Mexico? How was I supposed to know? Number one, I would never have asked you about your trip to New Mexico because I don't give a damn, and neither does anybody else not named you. But how was I supposed to know that when you asked me, is there anything that you need to know about my trip? Why would you need to know anything about my trip, Eric? Eric, stop doing Eric things. Dude, you're living off one call. And that's not going to last much longer. Dude, the hell are you doing? What you did just there is even worse than what you did yesterday. And now, by the way, you're slowing me down, you're dragging me down, and it's taken away from other good beefs. Come on, man. Wow, dude. If it sounds like I'm pissed, it's because I'm pissed. Dear Jim, we have beef with the guy who will not leave us alone. What, you mean like Eric? We have beef with the guy who will not leave us alone. He continually tries to find ways to make us leave. If he showed up more than once a month, a year, maybe we would care more. Hey, old man, have another spotted cow and mind your own business so we can do our business in your yard. Signed, the geese in the yard of Rome's Wisconsin home. Now the geese are beefing with me. Why, man? I gave them the best lawn on the best house on the lake. I only show up one month out of the year, if that. Rome, my beef is with the tiny square on my watch that is supposed to tell me the date. It's never accurate. Months have different numbers of days. The minute hand covers the square every hour. Unless you have perfect close-up vision, you can't read it anyway. Should you decide to set it correctly, you will be spinning a BB-sized knob for 20 minutes, and next week it'll be off again. Timex, eliminate that ridiculous feature. Brian in Detroit. Like, these are good, but these aren't incredible. You know what I'm saying? But they still have to be better in the calls. Jimmy, my beef is with the cheese. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. The cheese that comes inside of a pizza Lunchable. I already look like a child eating it, and now I look like a toddler scratching with my fingernails at the bottom of the tiny container for the clumpy pieces of cheese that there's already a shortage of. Mike in Mini. Hey, Mike, are you older than 11? Then why are you eating Lunchables still? Gerald Lafferty. I have beef with adults who think flatulence is funny. There is nothing amusing about that foul-smelling odor coming out of your butthole. If you need to release gas, please get the hell away from me so I don't have to inhale the poo particles leaking out of your anus. Thank you, Gerald. He's not wrong. Jimmers, I got beef with my wife. I work from home, and she comes home for lunch, right? During the beef segment. She doesn't know the show and says, "What the hell is that?" I have to turn it off so we can talk. Happens every week. Chuck in Huntsville. Hey, Chuck, just play that back to her. Why don't we try some telephone calls? Let's go to Deming. Ed in Deming. Ed, what's your beef?
Hey, Jim. My beef is with James in Portland. Hey, James, we don't need you calling in every week and recapping Alvy's weekend exploits. The only reason you call in and try to live vicariously through Alvy is because you can't even score a date with Portland woman. We already know Alvy has a lot of sex because he has a lot of kids. Class it up, James. I'm out.
I think what you meant to say is Alvy has a lot of kids because he has a lot of sex. But you're right. James should class it up. Should I go to hotline? The hotline? That's weird. I'm trying to think. I don't think that I've had a conversation with Jerry Jones since, believe it or not, literally, since 1994. He came on Talk 2 one night. Yet here he is on the hotline? That's odd. Jera, is that you?
Jerome, Jerry Jones here. You're a Hall of Famer. Been a while. And love me some Pound Town. Hashtag Pound Town. I pay off my kids, love Pound Town. And I also love some beef. And I got a beef, but I like to pour salt all over. I love my salt, Jim. You ever see me with an Egg McMuffin, Jimmy? More salt, high blood pressure. Woo! My beef, and I know this drives Alvin nuts, is when there's no duct tape on the glory hole, Jim. Talk about a pain in the shaft.
That's not a good call. No. You don't like that call. I don't like that call. Not a very good call.
I don't know. I don't think that was Jera. I don't think that was Jera. I don't think that was Steven. I don't think that was his legitimate daughter that he wants nothing to do with. I don't think that was Jimma. I don't think that was any of the sort. Let's go to Ann Arbor. Jim, what is your beef?
Yo, Jim. It's good to be with you on the beef segment today. You know, I really don't have any beef to speak about, but I would like to war a beer.
How weird that Jerry Jones would call during the beef segment, only to be followed by Jim Harbaugh, who doesn't have beef during the beef segment, much like he didn't have smack during the smack-off. Let's try one more. Let's go to Alaska. Matt in Alaska. Matt, what's your beef?
Jimmy, what's going on, man?
What's up, dude?
Dude, I got a real problem with the butthole at the Easter barbecue who's suddenly an expert on spinal injuries since I broke my back 10 days ago. You know, this is the same butthole that's been an expert on foreign conflict for the last 2 months. He's been an expert on the pandemic for the last 3 years. And now he wants to tell me to make sure to do my physical therapy and make sure you have good posture. Don't bend over and pick anything up. Yeah, dude, I got it. I have a surgeon who I'll take my advice from. I don't need to hear it from you. So War, Rogan Loam, dropping down and stacking K's. I'm out.
My man. Nice job, Matt. Way to go. And when I say nice job, what I mean is thanks for not coming with a third butthole that would have got you run for sure.
Butthole.
He had two. He said, thank you very much, butthole. I think I'll take my advice from my actual surgeon since I broke my back. Appreciate you, Warren Rogues. Rogues appreciate you, Warring Rogues. Dropping down and stacking Ks. Not bad. Not bad. That's still fun.